Good morning, everyone. I hope you are fine. We will start our lecture today with the context and key facts of Wuthering Heights, a novel by Emily Brontë. Well, context. Actually, the Victorian age refers to the period in England when Queen Victoria reigned between 1837 and 1901. The British Empire had reached its height and ruled one quarter of the world. During this time, the Industrial Revolution created profound economical changes in society. England changed from a primarily agricultural country to an industrial one and created a great social upheaval. Moreover, the Victorian age witnessed the emergence of new class distinctions from the growth of industrial production. So a new middle class began to emerge. So we have upper class and gentry, owners. We have middle class, shopkeepers and the merchant. And we have low class anti-poor, factory workers or the unemployed. On the other side, rural life was ruled by a strict social hierarchy at that time. We have lords and the aristocracy, gentry class, like the Linton family in Wuthering Heights. We have gentlemen farmers, prosperous enough to maintain lifestyles similar to the gentry. Now, after knowing the context of the novel, we will move on to know about its novelist, Emily Brontë. She was born in Northern England in 1880, and she is a daughter of a church rector and his wife. Emily was living in a solitary, in the sense that she had few friends outside of her family. However, Brontë was exposed to a microcosm of society through her father's congregation, and the people in her home of Howard, Yorkshire, were characterized as being blunt, passionate, and using colorful speech. These attitudes made their way into Wuthering Heights. The novel is actually an accurate depiction of Yorkshire. Continuously, what is unique in Emily Bronte's family is her sisters, who were writers too. So her sisters were Charlotte Brontë and Anne Brontë. Charlotte wrote the well-known novel Jane Eyre in 1847, while Anne wrote her well-known novel Agnes Grey in 1847 too. However, the three sisters published poems under the pseudonyms of Currer, Ellis, and Acton Bell. Brontë, on the other side, tended to her brother Branwell, who was dying from alcoholism and drug abuse. She caught a severe cold at his funeral, which developed into tuberculosis. She died shortly after him in 1848. Well, After surveying the context and the life of Emily Brontë, now we will know some key facts of the novel. So the full title is Wuthering Heights. The author, as we have said, Emily Brontë. Type of work, novel. Language, English, including bits of Yorkshire dialects. Time and place, written in 1846 to 1847. Emily Brontë wrote Wuthering Heights in the personage of the isolated village of Howard in Yorkshire. Date of first publication was 1847, and the publisher was Thomas C. Newby. As a novel, Wuthering Heights belongs to the Gothic novel genre because it's designed to both horrify and fascinate readers with scenes of passion and cruelty, supernatural animus, and a dark, foreboding atmosphere. On the other side, it also could be considered as a realist fiction, as it incorporates vivid circumstantial detail into consistently and minutely thought out plot, dealing mostly with the relationships of the characters to one another. Now, narrator and tense. In Wuthering Heights, actually we have two narrators, Lockwood and Nellie. So Lockwood, a newcomer to the locale of Wuthering Heights, narrates the entire novel as an entry in his diary, while Nellie was the one who told the story in the first place. So the story that Lockwood records is told to him by Nellie, a servant, and Lockwood writes most of the narrative in her voice, describing how she told it to him. Some parts of Nellie's story are narrated by other characters, such as when Nellie receives a letter from Isabella and recites its contents verbatim. And the tense used in writing the novel was the past tense. So both Lockwood's and Nellie's narrations are in the past tense. Point of view element. In Wuthering Heights, actually, most of the events are narrated in Nellie's voice, from Nellie's point of view, focusing only on what Nellie can see and hear, or what she can find out about indirectly. Nellie frequently comments on what the other characters think and feel, and on what their motivations are, but these comments are all based on her own interpretations of the other characters, so she is not an omniscient narrator. As far as the tone of the novel is concerned, it is not easy to infer the author's attitude toward the events of the novel, because in the first part, the melodramatic quality suggests that Brontë views Catherine and Heathcliff's doomed love as tragedy of lost potential and wasted passion, while the outcome of the second half of the novel suggests that Brontë is more interested in celebrating the renewal and rebirth brought about by the passage of time and the rise of a new generation than she is in mourning Heathcliff and Catherine. In regard to the novel's setting, that is to say, the time and the place, The action of Nellie's story begins in the 1770s. Lockwood leaves Yorkshire in 1802. This is the time, the place. All the action of Wuthering Heights takes place in or around two neighboring houses on the Yorkshire moors, Wuthering Heights and Thrushcross Grange. And the protagonists of the novel are Heathcliff and Catherine. Finally, in order to make the plot of this novel, Bront uses literary techniques like themes, the destruction of a love that never changes, the precariousness of social class, motives like doubles, repetition, the conflict between nature and culture, symbols, the use of the moors and ghosts, and foreshadowing. Lockwood's initial visit to Wuthering Heights, in which the mysterious relationships and lurking resentments between the characters create an air of mystery. Lockwood's ghostly nightmares during the night he spends in Catherine's old bed prefigure many of the events of the rest of the novel. That was the end of our lecture today. For further reading, please refer to this resource. For the next lecture, I will continue with the characters and the plot of Wuthering Heights. Thank you very much for your time and good luck.